Welcome, welcome. Welcome back to the Coaching Revolution podcast. This is Joanna Lindenbaum, and I am really excited to share this week's episode with you, which is all about how I get so much done in a day. And I'm going to be sharing some expected ways that you might expect, and also some unexpected ways with you. I originally got asked this question in the Coaching Revolution Facebook group. If you're not already a member of that Facebook group, I highly recommend that you join us. We'd love to see you there. And people ask questions a lot, and I try to get them answered. And this one was so juicy that I am also bringing it to the podcast. And it's such a good question of how do I get so much done in a day? Because the truth is, I do a lot on any given day. I am recording this podcast. I write a newsletter that goes out to thousands and thousands of people. I also send a lot of other emails to my newsletter community. I am working on social media posts. I am on other people's podcasts and doing talks for other people's communities. I host a lot of community events. And then, of course, I have many programs each year with thousands of people registered in them. I have my private practice with private clients. I am an innovator. So even though I rely on my old curricula a lot, I'm also always updating and I'm creating new curriculum all the time. I'm leading my team. And I did write the first draft of my book last spring. So, first of all, just so you know, you definitely do not need to be doing as much as I do. I don't do all of those things on any one day, just so you know. But you don't need to do that much, especially if it is tiring you out just to hear that list of things I just shared. That's not for everyone to do all of those things, but whatever it is for you, right? Whatever you want to get done in a day, I would like to help you get more of what you want to get done. It's something that requires outer work and inner work and preparation. And I'm going to spill the beans on some ways that you can do this for yourself today. I'm going to be sharing lots of different strategies and little tips and tricks that I make sure to include in my own work days so that a lot happens. And I am quite positive that you'll walk away from this episode with at least one doable, easy strategy to help make your days more productive, plus a lot of inspiration and motivation. That is my aim. And also, I have a feeling that with everything you learn on today's episode, as with all of our podcast episodes, you'll be bringing all of this to your client sessions as well when your clients need your support so that they can get more done in a day. But before we get into all of that, I want to tell you about this. My friend, 2024 has been an interesting year for coaches, transformational practitioners, and leaders. The truth is that it has, for many, become more challenging to bring in new clients and to make more sales. And that's because of everything that is happening in the world right now, because of everything that's happening in politics right now. Your potential clients with all of this, they're distracted. They're feeling uncertain about the future. They're maybe feeling skittish about investing their time, their energy, and their resources into working with you so that they can get what they want. But just because things are tough right now doesn't mean that you give up. No, no, no. It means that you do what successful, sustainable businesses have done through time immemorial during both good cycles and then also more challenging cycles like the one that we're in right now. What they do and what I suggest you do is you get better. You get better at helping your clients reach their goals and their visions. You get better at helping your clients through their blocks and through their obstacles because the more happy clients that you have, the more clients you have that are so satisfied and over the moon with the work that you do together, the more poised that you are for your clients to renew with you, and the more poised that you are for those same clients to send referrals your way and to spread your stellar reputation. This is the way to weather 2024 into 2025. This is the way to grow your business even during these very wild times. If you want this and you also want a place to do your own deeper inner transformational work and a place to learn how to market in ways that are ethical, effective, and authentic, and if you also want to have an incredible community supporting you and cheering you on, please get in touch about the Sacred Depths Transformational Practitioner training and certification. Everything that I am talking about right now is exactly what Sacred Depths is about. Time is moving quickly, and this work and life changing training and experience is starting at the end of October. It is the place for you if you want to become extraordinary at co creating results and transformation with your clients. You walk away from Sacred Depths with a full skill set of how to help your clients no matter what situation they bring your way. And you also walk away with a deep, deep understanding of human behavior so that you always know exactly how to use each skill with each particular client on each particular day. There is nothing like Sacred Depths out there, and I would be honored to welcome you to the cohort that is forming for 2024 into 2025. I will drop the link to the show notes for Sacred Depths, and we do have a special early bird savings right now. So I hope you will check it out and maybe join us. Okay, so how I get so much done in a day. I'm gonna share 5 different approaches or strategies, things that I fold into my day that allow me to be so productive and to get so much done. The first is all about how I strategize and plan out my day, my week, and my month. This is key, what I'm about to share with you. So I don't ever wake up and say, I wonder what I'm gonna do today. If it's a work day, right? I don't ever wake up and say, I wonder what I'm gonna do today to move myself and my business forward. When I wake up, I already know the exact action steps that I want to take for that day, and they are all written out. I'm not a typer when I plan. I do paper and pen writing. Each one of those action steps are written out, and I have them right on my desk next to my computer. I have what we call in Sacred Depths my blueprint for the day, for the week, and for the month. And blueprinting is one of the many productivity coaching tools, we can call it, that you learn in Sacred Depths so that you can help your own clients get more done and also so that you can get more done as well. And I am so obsessed with blueprinting and the power of blueprinting that not only do you learn how to blueprint in Sacred Depths, but every single month we have a blueprinting call together where I hold the space for you and lead you through the process so that you can blueprint out your month. And then I coach you on the different action steps that come through it, the different strategies, etc. So you might be wondering, well, what exactly is this blueprint? Good question. Simply put, the blueprint is a plan for the month where I have every single one of my action steps for that month written out. And they're not just any action steps. It's not just about doing a million different things. The way I articulate these action steps is that I start out with a really dialed in list of my top priority goals for the month, right? And then I write out the action steps for each of those goals. This way, I know I'm not giving myself extra things to do. There isn't a ton of busy work. I'm not going to get overwhelmed. I'm not going to get distracted by shiny things. I am creating a blueprint based on actionable items that are directly going to allow me to reach my goals. Now, it's a whole process to create the blueprint. It's not just write out your goals and then write out the action steps. We go really deep in Sacred Depths to get to what are the right action steps. When do we take those action steps? So that it's all laid out for you. But what I will tell you now, because I am a Virgo and this is how my brain works. I don't stop at the monthly blueprint. Once I have my monthly blueprint, I then divide that month into the 4 or 5 weeks of the month. And I get clear on what am I doing week 1 of the month, week 2, week 3, week 4. And then I take it even further, usually on Sunday nights, sometimes on Monday mornings, the beginning of each week. I take my monthly blueprint and from it, I create a daily blueprint so that I know what I am going to do each and every day of the week. And then again, this isn't for everyone, but I'll tell you, I take it even a step further. Once I have my weekly blueprint at the start of each day, I look at my action items for that day and I order those action items in order of when I'm going to do them. And I write out how long I think each one will take. By doing this, as I said earlier, when I wake up each morning, I know what I'm going to do that day. And almost immediately, I know the order that I'm going to do it in, the times that I'm going to do it in. And this allows me to get done what is on my list. It allows me to stay focused, which also allows me to get so much more done. Now, what I quickly just laid out for you in terms of this blueprinting, it doesn't work for everyone in exactly the way that I just laid it out, right? Not all brains work the same way that my brain works. So I really encourage you to know how your brain works and what kind of organization and structure works best for you so that you can create a plan that actually works for you. In Sacred Depths, we go deep into learning how to do this for yourself and then how to support your clients in this, right? To come up with the organization and structure that is right for them, for their brains, for their rhythms, for how they follow instructions, for their creativity, etc. So that's number one. I have my blueprint, and it really does help me stay focused, know what I'm doing. I don't have to stress, go into confusion. Am I doing this? Am I doing that? Or take the time to figure out. It's all there for me. I can be off running. Here's strategy or practice number two that helps me get so much done in a day. It has to do with the way that I set my day up. And again, just like blueprinting is going to be different for every person, their brain, their rhythm, what works well for them, how you set your day up is going to probably look different from mine. I'm going to tell you in a minute how I set my day up. But what I want to say first is that whatever it is for you, I really, really recommend, my dear listener, that you take the time to really think through what a happy, healthy, productive, fun workflow looks like in your day. And that you take, as you do it, you take into consideration all the different things in your life, all the different responsibilities that you have, the needs that you have, etc. When you can set your day up in an aligned way, it changes everything. It allows you to get more done on the days that you want to get more done. It allows you to be more productive. It allows you to feel more spaciousness even within the productivity. So, all that being said, let me tell you how I set my days up. Now, this isn't every day of the week. This is for the days that I am not teaching as much or doing as many one-on-one sessions, but those days that I am really working on the business, if you will, versus in the business with my clients. So I like to start every morning. And by the way, before I even say that, let me say this. I am not perfect. I don't knock this out of the park every single day, right? You're not perfect. I'm not perfect, but this is what I strive for. And this is what I hit a lot of days, but not all of them. Okay, so typical day working on the business. I wake up in the morning and I read fiction for about 15 minutes. I go outside if the weather allows for it. I sit on my porch and I read. I do this for a couple of reasons. Number one, so that I can get vitamin D early in the morning and really keep on top of my melatonin production so that I can sleep better at night. And then I get to start my day off not by rushing to check my phone or rushing into work or, anything like that, but just I love reading fiction. It's a beautiful, leisurely, pleasurable day to welcome the day, pleasurable way to welcome the day. After that 15 minutes-ish, I am helping my husband, John, to try to get the kids out the door to go to school, camp, get them fed, get them to wherever they're going. And that can be kind of a chaotic time. And once the chaos of family morning time ends and the kids are out of the house, or I drive them to school, back at home, whatever it is, that's when I officially start my workday. And first, I briefly look at my blueprint for the day, right? I mentioned that earlier, so that I have a handle on the day, so that I know where my day is going, so that I can be holding that bigger picture of the day. So I get a sense of what that bigger picture is. And then from there, I walk away from my desk. And I don't have time to do this every day, for 30 minutes or 60 minutes. Sometimes it's just five. But I like to start then the work day after holding the big picture with doing something for my body. So I might start the day with exercise and take a walk, go to the gym, do something to take care of my body. I might start the day with what I call soul time, doing my inner work, doing journaling. I always do a little bit of mission work every morning. I'm going to share with you about that in a few minutes. Um, when I can, I will exercise and have extended time for soul time. Both of those things help me get grounded. They help me regulate my nervous system. They help me open up and connect to my inner wisdom. They give me motivation, inspiration, creativity, and focus for my day. So, actually taking this time at the beginning of the day to do something for my body, to do something for my psyche, is part of what allows me to get so much done. In my stressed out moments, a part of me wants to tell myself, you don't have time, Joanna, to do the exercise or the inner work. And then sometimes I'll skip it. And then I don't get as much done during the day because I haven't prepared my body, my mind, my psyche to be at its best for the day. From there, at that point, sometimes it's 9 a.m., sometimes it's 10 a.m. It will depend on the day. I move in to 30 minutes in my email inbox. And I answer time sensitive emails in my inbox. This is clients who have emailed me who are wanting a response on something. This is responding to team members who might need something for the day so they can continue with a project that they're working on, etc. I really try not to spend more than 30 minutes in the morning on email. I'll come back to it later in the day. I really just do those time sensitive emails and not get lost in hours of responding to email. And the reason for that is while I still have, and this is how my body and my rhythm works, while I still have my biggest energy of the day, my biggest feeling open of the day and creativity, I want to spend the bulk of that morning time on a project that I know is going to take most of my brain power, most of my focus. And sometimes that project is maybe the one that I least want to do, right? It's the project that otherwise might get pushed to the end of the day, and then I may not get to it at all, right? So I don't want to save the thing that is going to take most of my brain power, focus. Usually it has to do with writing. I don't want to save that for the end of the day when I'm not at my best and it's not going to end up as good or I'm less likely to do it. Now, sometimes that project, again, usually it's writing, is going to take 15 minutes. Sometimes it's going to take an hour and a half, right? It depends on the action step. Now, I have made the time for it in my day. I do it. And then after I do that big project, I move on to the rest of the action steps in my blueprint in order of priority. After that, that's when I'll come back to my emails that aren't as time sensitive at the end of the day, to wrap that day up. Now, again, what I just described, those are days that I'm not teaching or doing one-on-one calls or doing podcast interviews, being on summits. The way my rhythm works well is I generally try to keep client and teaching days together and then admin and marketing days together. Sometimes they can get a little mixed, but generally I like to keep them separate. The way that I focus is in front of the computer writing, for a day, or I'm with clients for a day. And then, of course, at the end of each work day, I try to finish the day intentionally. I take some moments to be in gratitude for the day, for what was accomplished, for what I experienced, for the ways that I made impact. And I try to kind of leave the workday behind at that point so that I can move on to the chaos of my family life in the late afternoons and the evening. So for you, you're going to want to think about what works for you, for your flow, for your well-being, and for your rhythm. All right, I want to tell you about a couple of other things that I do in order to get so much done. And the next is that I really, on a daily basis, I try to be keyed into my vision for my work and for my business. And I just can't underscore enough the importance of connecting in with, being keyed into what your aligned vision is and your mission when it comes to being able to move forward in your business. It is so important being keyed into your vision and into your mission every single day can help get you through the inevitable tough times in business, right? Because not every business day or week or month is rainbows and unicorns, right? Things happen that are unexpected. We have disappointments in business all the time, right? It's part and parcel. Things don't go the ways that we want. We might become frustrated. And when those things happen, when we're not keyed into the deeper why of our work and of our business and the bigger vision that we have for our work and into the mission of our businesses, that's when the inevitable tough times, frustration, disappointment, that's when it can take us down more. But when we're able to stay keyed in to the deeper why and the vision and the mission, even when we're going through a tougher time, we can be inspired and motivated by that deeper why. And when we're inspired and motivated by the deeper why, it helps us show up for the blueprint and the action steps and to take them and to get more done. Now, some visions and missions are uber aligned, but I know that for a lot of people out there, you haven't yet hit on that vision that really excites you, that mission that feels so core to your purpose. You want to have a vision and a mission that gets you excited to wake up in the morning and work on your business and be in your business. And here's the important next part. You don't want to just have it articulate the vision, the mission, the deeper why, and then let it gather dust in your notebook. You want to stay connected to it on a daily basis. So part of that morning work that I shared earlier, part of the soul work and the inner work that I do in the mornings is connecting in to my deeper why for my work. And I really let that be a guiding light for me. I really let it motivate me and inspire me. Now, in Sacred Depths, we do big work and deep work on this. It takes a little bit to get the vision and the mission. But for now, I want you to consider the following. Have you identified your deeper why for your work? That thing that cuts so deeply straight to your purpose, to your deeper why, and the deeper why of your work with clients. That so much so that when you connect with it, you are beyond excited to take forward action in your business. If you haven't yet identified it, I want to encourage you to work on that. Also, when things get hard or hairy with work, disappointing things, overwhelming things, etc., are you plugging back into your vision and into your mission and really allowing it to be a big part of you for you to embody it and so that it can lead the way? If not, I want you to work on that. All right. What else can I tell you? Um, just for now, I mentioned inner work earlier. Some of the vision mission work is my daily inner work. But I think just the other thing I want to mention is that I would not get so much done in a day. I would not have a fraction of the business and the success that I have if it were not for my commitment to my own inner work. Period and end of story. If I were not committed to my own inner work, I wouldn't be able to put myself out there, be as visible as I make myself. I wouldn't be able to be as bold as I am when I put myself out there. I wouldn't be able to ask clients for referrals or renewals. I wouldn't be able to charge rates that are aligned for me. I wouldn't be as masterful in my client and group work as I am. It is all about the inner work and the energetics. And it's work. And what I mean by that is that I do it daily. Like I said earlier, sometimes it's just a few minutes, other times it can be an hour. But it is one of my practices that really does help me be productive and get so much done. And at some point, I promise I will do a whole episode in detail on the type of inner work that I do for myself and how I do it, because I know that will be helpful for so many of you. But for now, what I want you to know about my inner work is that I practice what I preach and what I teach in Sacred Depths. So, what that means is that I work with my own fears and I consistently use the befriend your fear technique on myself that we learn in Sacred Depths. I work with my resistances and I consistently work with my own resistance archetypes in the exact way that we learn in Sacred Depths. I work with my unhelpful beliefs and I consistently work to rewire my neural pathways in exactly the same way that we learn in Sacred Depths. I work with my own myth of perfection in exactly the same ways that we learn in the training, and on and on and on. You learn each of these advanced skills and so many others in Sacred Depths not only so that you can go deeper with your clients and help your clients to be more successful, but also so that you can work these techniques on and with yourself. Because the inner work really is required for transformational practitioners like sacred depths practitioners who are masterful at what they do. All right. I think the two other pieces that are important to briefly mention as we close out our time for today are number one, self-care. I kind of mentioned it earlier, but I wouldn't be able to get as much done as I do if I wasn't taking good care of my body, not only in the morning, but throughout the day. Taking care of your body directly relates to your capacity to get things done. Now, again, no myth of perfection here. I don't get it right on all the days and all the weeks. Sometimes I do overwork. Sometimes I don't take as good enough care of myself. But for the most part, I make sure that I get enough sleep. I make sure that I eat well and that I keep my blood sugar balanced for the day. I make sure that I take my supplements. I make sure that I take breaks throughout the day so that I can recharge and focus. I'm lucky enough to live with an acupuncturist. Some of you might know my husband John is an acupuncturist, and so I get treatments. And I will also tell you, and this can be a whole episode unto itself, but I'll just toss it in there for now. Part of my self-care is also my online, or I should call it my screen hygiene. When I am taking best care of myself, I am not on a screen all day long and all night long. I'm walking away from the computer. I'm spending a lot of time away from the computer. I did want to mention that I do also get a lot of help. I am privileged to have a partner at home who helps me with the kids and with house responsibilities. And I do have a team. So I don't want to make it seem like I am just, it is me here doing all the things on my own. I do get help. And it is a privilege, and I feel very grateful for it. And I share this to say, in any ways that you can get help and supported, I recommend it. Allow yourself to receive support. Okay, my friends, that's it for today. I hope that you are walking away with at least one inspired idea, an action step. I hope you're walking away with motivation to get done the things that you want to get done during your days. As always, I would love to hear from you and what really resonated for you from this episode. If you loved it, please share this podcast with a friend. And if Sacred Depths is calling to you, again, I recommend checking it out. Me and my team would love to talk to you about it.